We've talked about AI tools, ethics, and workflows. But now, let's talk about how to actually make your AI film look cinematic. Because let's be real, just throwing an AI generated image on a timeline and calling it a movie is not going to cut it. Visual storytelling is what separates a forgettable AI experiment from something that actually feels like a film. This is the part where we go beyond prompts and actually start thinking like directors and cinematographers. So today, we are going to break down how films traditionally tell stories through visuals. This is the secret sauce that makes your AI film look like a movie, not a glorified slideshow. Let's get into it. First up, structure. Most films follow one of two classic storytelling frameworks, the three-act structure and the hero's journey. Let's look at the three-act structure. Like the name suggests, the three-act structure has three acts. Act 1 is the setup. We establish the world, introduce the protagonist, and set up the conflict. Act 2 is the conflict. The protagonist faces obstacles, alliances begin to shift, and the stakes rise.
One of you is going to die. Which one will be up to you.
Next up, take him.
Act 3 is the resolution. This is where the final battle takes place.
Stop.
What are you doing?
I'm going in.
We get our emotional payoff. And our character transforms.
I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin.
Now let's look at the hero's journey. Hero's journey is used in every great adventure movie ever. The hero's journey was developed by Joseph Campbell after studying thousands and thousands of mythological stories. He found one structure, a structure that resonated with humans from all over the world. And that's how hero's journey was born. We start in the ordinary world, which is boring and safe. This is where the hero gets a call to adventure, a problem that they cannot ignore. They refuse the call. I'm just a farmer. I can't save the galaxy. They meet a mentor. Think Yoda, Dumbledore, Gandalf. They cross the threshold into the unknown. They go through trials, challenges, and then face the ordeal, their biggest test.
It's mine! Give it to me! Give it to me! No! Give it! No!
They return home changed, bringing back knowledge, power, or even peace. So why are we discussing storytelling? Even if AI generates your visuals, you still have to structure a story in a way that keeps people engaged. AI can assist with storytelling, but won't do it for you. One of the biggest mistakes beginner filmmakers make, AI or not, is relying too much on dialogue. Great films don't explain everything. They let the visuals do the talking. Here's an example of bad storytelling.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Jen!
Matt?
Wait, do you pretend to be blind, man? Because that is really
No,
problematic.
I'm blind. Relax. I have a spatial method that I use to see.
Oh, like echolocation.
Here's an example of good storytelling. Let's take a look at Pixar's legendary storytelling formula. Let's hear it from the creators of South Park.
Our whole South Park writers' room, one whole wall is one of these. And we've got it split up into 3 acts.
We have
where
different
the
colored
commercial
markers
breaks
just
are.
like here too. Look at.
Yep.
We have that.
And I walk around with the markers like this, and we'll go, okay, we do a show about
This
this.
is
It's
basically our writer's room.
oh, okay, well somewhere, okay, this would be a funny scene if we had this.
true.
Each individual scene has to work as a kind of funny sketch. You don't want one scene that's just like, well, what was the point of that scene? We found out this really simple rule that maybe you guys have all heard before, but it took us a long time to learn it. But we can take these beats, which are basically the beats of your outline, and if the words "and then" belong between those beats, you're f***ed, basically. You got something pretty boring. What should happen between every beat that you've written down is either the word "therefore" or "but." Right? So what I'm saying is that you come up with an idea and it's like, okay, this happens, right? And then this happens. No, it should be this happens, and therefore this happens. But this happens, therefore this happens. And that, as soon as we are able to, and literally sometimes we'll write it out to make sure we're doing it. We'll have our beats and we'll say, okay, this happened, but then this happens, and that affects this, and that does to that, and that's why you get a show that feels like, okay, this to that, to this to that, but this, here's the complication, to that. And there's so many scripts we read from new writers and things that we see.
God, I see movies.
And yeah,
you see movies that you're just watching. It's like this happened, and then this happens, and then this happens. That's when you're in a movie, just going, "What the f am I watching this movie for?" Just like this happened, and then this happened, and this happened. That's not a movie, you know. That's not a story. Like Trey said, it's those two, but because therefore, that gives you the causation between each beat, and that makes that's a story.
Let's talk about the actual visuals. If you just use AI to generate random shots, your film will feel flat. Good cinematography is what tells a story through composition, angles, and movement. The essential shots that you need to know are the extreme long shot. It's used for establishing the world. A wide shot. It shows the full character in an environment. The medium shot. This is the waist up shot, which keeps things natural. This is how most humans see other humans. Close up. This is used for emotional beats and to get inside a character's head. Extreme close up. This shot focuses on the details, eyes, hands, and subtle emotions. Christopher Nolan uses the extreme close up to get our attention to details. Think tattoos in Memento. The over-the-shoulder shot. This is a classic dialogue shot and connects characters visually. The thing to remember here is the 180-degree rule. The point of view shot or the POV shot. This is an extremely dynamic shot. Think of it. You can use the POV shot to show the POV of specific things in your story. Like, for example, Quentin Tarantino uses the POV shot from inside the trunk, the POV of the dead body, the POV of a particular character. This lets the audience see exactly what a character sees or from the point of view of an object of interest. The high angle shot. This makes a character look weak, vulnerable. A low angle shot makes the character look powerful, dominant. This shot is used for every hero entry in Bollywood. The Dutch angle shot. This is not how normal humans view the world. We look at it straight up, right? But a Dutch angle is essentially when you tilt the camera, the world shifts, something that you don't experience in normal life. It adds tension, unease, and is used in a lot of thrillers. When using AI tools like Runway or even Midjourney, be intentional about framing. Don't just accept whatever AI spits out. Adjust, refine, and make sure it tells the story visually. At the end of the day, AI is just another tool in your kit. What separates a great filmmaker from someone who's just messing around is how you use this tool to tell a compelling visual story. So, what's your story? And more importantly, how are you going to show it?